Beach Ball Classic, and tonight's game between the Paintsville Kentucky Tigers and the DeMatha Stags will decide who the fourth team is that gets invited to the dance. Hello, I'm Jeff McMurdy. With me, Jim Thacker. We can't ask for, I don't think, a better ball game than the one we just witnessed, but if anybody can do it, I think DeMatha can.
Well, it's a great team. DeMatha is an amazing team. They played 9 games, and every team they've played has been undefeated by the time they played them. And they, of course, they have Big Mustaf, 6'10". He's going to be a key man. And Paintsville's got to be a very patient team, I believe.
I think they will. Talking to Coach Bill Mike Runyon, he said if the game's in the 60s, we might win it. If it's games in the 80s, we've lost this game. It's the big ball game for Paintsville. And, of course, DeMatha has never lost on this floor at Socastee High School. Opening round action, and the fourth seed in this Final Four for the Beach Ball Classic will be decided when DeMatha takes on Paintsville. And that's coming up next. This is a Production Group Sports presentation.
This should be a great matchup here between Paintsville and DeMatha Catholic out of Hyattsville in the nation's capital area. Both these teams have lost a couple of games. Here are the starting lineups. They've just introduced the starting forward for Paintsville, Joey Couch, or rather starting guard Mike Minix.
At guard for Paintsville, 6'2" junior.
And now here's his running mate, Keith Atkins, 6'2" junior, number 3.
At guard for DeMatha,
and now coming out for DeMatha,
number 30, Bobby D. Everhart.
Bobby D. Everhart, a 6'1" junior, number 30. Played in this tournament last time they were here.
6'2" senior, number 11, Todd Burchell.
And here are the starting forwards. Todd Burchell for Paintsville, the 6'1" senior,
number
sort of a role player.
High school All-American John Gwynn.
And John Gwynn. One of the
MVP
keys for DeMatha.
At forward for
6' senior.
6'4" senior, number 23.
The other starting forward for Paintsville
Couch.
is Joey Couch, 6'3", a senior.
DeMatha,
Very skilled player, and you can tell a very husky player, outstanding football star. And Bobby Hill will be the other starting forward for DeMatha, 6'3" junior. The center spot, John Pelfrey, the kingpin for Paintsville, 6'7". A senior averaging 18 points, over 10 rebounds a game. He'll be up against 6'10" Gerard Mustaf, who's just a junior still. It seems like he's been around forever. For DeMatha, coached by Morgan Wooten, a legendary coach already, over 820 victories. And Bill Mike Runyon, a younger guy by comparison, coaching the Paintsville Tigers. What do you look for, Jeff?
I look for Paintsville to keep the game as in their pace if they can, and I think DeMatha would like to run the ball a little bit. One key factor in this game, Gerard Mustaf, John Gwynn, excuse me, Bobby D. Everhart, these guys have been here for the last couple of years. They know what this tournament's like. They've won. They've never lost on this court. Gerard Mustaf has been dominating. He's got classic records. John Gwynn's got classic records. This is their tournament. They feel like that they own this thing.
Wow, they feel like they own the United States of America when it comes to high school basketball.
But in particular, when they came here in '84, they were expected maybe to win it, but people weren't sure. When they came back in '85, we put up Crenshaw against them from Los Angeles. We brought in some of the best teams we could to try to knock them off. They won 3 games. This year, they brought in another strong field to take them, and I think this game does a lot. This tournament does a lot for DeMatha later in the season, as it does all the teams.
Mustaf against Pelfrey to start the game, and this will be our final first-round game. Mustaf tips it finally in the back court, and it's going to be hit 2 or 3 times down there, and finally grabbed by DeMatha. So back will come John Gwynn and the point guard Tracy Burgon. 5'10" sophomore right here controlling things. Paintsville in a man-to-man defense. That means Pelfrey on Mustaf, because Mustaf making his move and has it batted away by weak side help. Well, Paintsville's going to have to play a lot of team defense just like that against Big Mustaf.
Well, they'll definitely have his attention, no question about that.
Now here's Gwynn, who of course could be a dynamic player.
Gwynn set a tournament record, went 10 for 10 from the field. When he starts shooting, if he hits his first couple, it could be a long night for Paintsville.
Well, Gwynn gets into Mustaf for a little turnaround short hook, a rebound by Pelfrey. Now it's Paintsville's turn as Minix brings it down for the Tigers from Eastern Kentucky, representing a team that has a rich high school basketball history, but's never done well here in this tournament. Well, they run the passing game and to perfection. They drive. There's a backdoor cut A wild pass. Minix had gone by Gore, but Atkins threw it over everybody's head, including Mustaf.
One thing to keep in mind with John Gwynn, of all the great players that have come out of this tournament, he is the only two-time member of the all-tournament team, and of course last year the MVP. Expecting great things from him again this year.
Burgon looks over this man defense. Haynesville's a Pistons team. There's Burgon feeding it to the Hill, and there's a charging foul on Bobby Hill.
Still a great play by Burgon to get that ball to Hill, and he drove in and he had the penetration, and he got the ball to Hill, and Hill tried to take it up strong, but good position in there by Paintsville.
And DeMatha setting up that well-known zone trapping defense, so Paintsville's well aware of this, and they're going to have to contend this throughout the ball game. If you're with us in the first game this evening, you heard Morgan Wooten say, if you're in a pressing defense, you stick with it. They'll trap here. They come over the line. There's a tip. They get the ball down inside to Couch, and he's fouled on the play.
That's a late whistle. I'll tell you what, Mustaf went up there, was waving his arms kind of wildly, and it looked like the referee waited until after the shot was missed before he even called the foul.
Couch is trimmed down from about 240 pounds to 218. Well, let's take a look at it here, Ken.
Take a look at Mustaf here now. They're going to bring the ball up the court, and we'll get the chance to see the inside play that tipped away. Now, there's the foul. Now, it's clearly a body foul, but my point was that the referee seemed to wait a little while to call it.
He hammered him, though, no question about that.
He did.
Nice replay by our man there, John Pinson. First score of the game goes to Joey Couch. And a one-point lead by Paintsville High School, 6:33. Paintsville comes out of Kentucky's eastern regions. That's produced some legendary teams in that state. Inside of Mustaf, right up over Pelfrey. Good block out by Pelfrey for the rebound, and he's fouled on the play by Everhart.
Paintsville has been to the Sweet 16 the last 2 years in a row. Last year they were knocked out in the first round, but the year before they went to the third round before they lost.
Kentucky's had some great teams in Harlan, Hazard, Pikeville, out of eastern Kentucky, and they all play this same type of ball. They play very deliberate, make their passes count, good defense. Now that first one was a fumble, not a dribble. If you're thinking that was a double dribble, you're wrong. They go inside the Couch. He takes it right to Mustaf. And a reach-in foul from behind by Bergen. And already, DeMatha has 4 team fouls. Paintsville has none, and we played less than 2 minutes of the game.
DeMatha looks flat, Jim. I'm surprised, considering the veteran and experienced team that they have not come out a little stronger than this. Gwynn has yet to take a shot, and that's just the most momentous thing, I think, of the whole game so far.
There's Pelfrey now. He's the big man. He'll shoot it from out there, and he can pop that pill. Mustaf, good outlet pass, comes up here to Bergen. Now DeMatha's going to set it up. They have no advantage. They're trailing by just 1 point. Only 1 point's been scored. It's 1-0. Here goes Gwynn. Helloff. Everhart under heavy guard. And rebound on the inside by Couch, the football player. And he's got a lot of power.
Boy, he's a horse in there. I'll tell you what, he can get in there and take up some space.
You think he's a horse now? He's 22 pounds lighter than he was this fall.
Wow.
There he is, Couch, and they use Pelfrey on the outside. Again, he lets it go, and rebound inside, picked up on the loose ball by Mustaf. 1-0 Paintsville.
I don't care how good a shooter Pelfrey is. He has no business taking a 19-foot shot when he's the tallest man on the team.
Good point, but apparently that's the way they use him. He'll definitely be a guard or perhaps a small forward in college. Now here goes Gwynn's first shot. Close, but that's all. Put up inside by Hill.
But did you notice how high John Gwynn got before he took that shot? His vertical leap is amazing. Great effort over there by the DeMatha guard.
And a steal here by Gwynn. DeMatha comes up with it. So DeMatha's got the lead 2-1. And the ball. Bergen down the middle he goes. Feeds it to Mustaf for the layup. Great feed off by Bergen, and now 4 quick points has put DeMatha into a 3-point lead, 4-1.
Tracy Bergen, very reminiscent of a guard they had a couple of years ago, Mike Geelan, same type of player.
There's Pelfrey, who's been off the touch here, and he's missed 3 shots already here in the first quarter without connecting. Paintsville has yet to score a field goal. We played 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, but the pace of the game is where Paintsville likes it. They may not be scoring right now, but they like the pace of the game. I think DeMatha would like to pick it up some.
Yeah, they come. Here goes Pelfrey again. 4th shot of the night, and still he's 0. Now Gwynn on the break. Gwynn rushing hard. Gwynn feeds over the layup by Bergenbow. A charging foul on Gwynn. That was after the release of the ball. Then we're going to go to the 1-and-1. Charging foul, and should be a 1-and-1. That's the 5th team foul against dematha.
Well, that was a good pass by Gwynn, but he was a little bit out of control. And of course, a good setup on the part of the Paintsville player to take and draw the charge.
They never gave the offensive signal there. I'm wondering if they missed that because that was the 5th team foul. Should have been a 1-and-1.
Well, you can see the lights on. Paintsville's in the bonus.
Yeah.
Of course, that could be for the next foul.
On my count, every player on the dematha team has committed a foul. It's Bergen comes across behind the screen, and inside is Hill. Bobby Hill scores, and that's 6 straight unanswered points by dematha, and it's 6-1 in favor of the Stags. Their defense has been the difference. Plus Pelfrey's inability to hit. Down the middle goes Couch, and nobody's going to try to stop him. 6-3.
I'm amazed at Pelfrey not going inside at all. He seems to like this perimeter play, and at 6'7", and being the tallest player on their team, I'm surprised he's not playing down low.
I think it's their style, though. They've done that. Hill powers inside. Bobby Hill's been the big man offensive-wise here for dematha in the first quarter with 6 points. And it's 8-3, another 5-point lead. Minnick spots his man Burchell. Burchell out full cup with a short one. Todd Burchell. 8-5 and a 3-point lead.
John Gwynn's only taken 1 shot in this game, and I hate to keep harping on it, but he has a great shot. And on this floor, he has the Beach Ball Classic 3-game shooting percentage record, 73% for 3 games.
Bergen off the mark, and Pelfrey's there to claim the rebound for Paintsville. Kentuckians are trailing by 3. Good overplay by Hill. And a change here for dematha. Bergen is replaced in the lineup by Rod Balanis, 6'2" junior. I don't think Morgan Wood's really set on a lineup yet. This team really hasn't established itself for dematha. Drive down here by Minnick. And a blocking foul on dematha. Minnick scores, and he now has a chance to tie it up.
We can take another look at that play. An excellent drive in there. Here you see dematha in the man-to-man, just taking it right to the hole. Nothing fancy about that. Trying to draw the charge. Actually, a little bit of acting on the part of the dematha player there, but no go. That foul is an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Ties it up. 3-point play by Mike Minnick, a senior guard. 8-8 with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first quarter. And that's the first time we've had a tie. Remember, Paintsville scored the first free throw, and then dematha ran off 6 quick points.
Mark Smith in the lineup now for the Stags. Wears number 20 in white.
Balanis is at guard here with Gwynn. That's Balanis on the outside. Does not get the shooter's roll, and the loose ball is claimed by Mustaf. Now here goes Gwynn. Gwynn fires up a shot. He charges. Second foul on John Gwynn.
I don't know about that one.
Now Morgan may have to get him out of there. He's a little bit out of control.
That's the foul, John Gwynn.
Let's take another look at that. John Gwynn is the kind of player that likes to go in and pressure defensive player, make him commit. Now let's see if he pushes into him. I don't think so. I think the contact was on the other side.
8-8. Of course, the important thing, Jeff, is doesn't matter what you and I think. I guess.
That's true.
Now there goes Pelfrey, and he is 0 for 5, I believe. Rebound lost out by Couch. Pelfrey's having a miserable first quarter shooting, and yet Paintsville has hung in there for an 8-8 tie at this point.
Well, John Gwynn with 2 fouls. Let me tell you what the absence of him would do. Beach Ball Classic's record last year, 30 for 38 in the 3 games of the 85 Classic. That's 79%.
This is Mark Smith, and now there's Balanis on the outside. Rebound comes down here to Paintsville, grabbed by Minnick. About a minute to go in the quarter and a tie score. Pelfrey is yet to score, the leading scorer for Paintsville, their All-American candidate. And he has been completely shut out.
Notice the confidence that dematha has, Coach Wooten has in Gwynn. He didn't take him out with those 2 fouls in the final minute of the first quarter.
Now here comes Menix across with a driving shot. The rebound Mustaf clears her out there to Belenis. 40 seconds to go in the quarter, and dematha might hold it down for 1 shot here, although 40 seconds is a long time. Zone defense by Paintsville. Here goes Gwynn, lets it rip. Rebound by Pelfrey. 24 seconds to go. Let's see how much Paintsville's under control. Oh, going into a nice layup on the other side, attempt by Couch, blocked, and here comes dematha with 13 seconds to go in the quarter. The big pot dribbles it down. Now we're down to 7 seconds, and they'll take the last shot. Try to. Smith works inside and hits. Mark Smith breaks the tie, and dematha is going to lead at the end of the first quarter by a score of 10-8. There's the buzzer. We'll be back for quarter number 2. This is a Production Group Sports presentation. Ten to 8, end of the first quarter. dematha Catholic out of Hyattsville, Maryland, leading by a pair on a tie-breaking shot just before the buzzer by Bobby Hill.
I think Coach Wooten's probably pleased that they're in the lead, but not pleased with the way his team's playing. It's been Paintsville's pace, and Paintsville has to be pleased that they're only trailing by 2 because their big man Pelfrey hasn't been able to buy a bucket.
Pelfrey's averaging right under 19 points a game, over 10 rebounds a game. And the Paintsville coaches claim openly that they feel he's the best player in the state of Kentucky, that usually produces a lot of great players. Paintsville ranked number 7 in the state of Kentucky this week, but they've defeated the number 1 team, Henry Clay, and the number 5 team, Lafayette. There was Pelfrey open, but you can't pass it through that many players. He tried to throw it by about 3 players. dematha blocks it out.
Henry Clay came into this tournament a couple of years ago and was sent home with a couple of losses, and they hadn't lost a game, and they were nationally ranked at that time.
Pelfrey again. Still he can't find the mark. There's a loose ball, and we got a jump ball. However, I believe Todd Burchell was out of bounds. He was. That's exactly what they rule. The ball will go to dematha. dematha 10, Paintsville 8. Winner will play Eau Claire, the host state hope out of South Carolina. Never had a Sandlapper team win this championship, but this could be the year. There's Gwynn feeding to Mustaf for the jam. Beautiful playmaking that time by John Gwynn. 12-8, a 4-point lead by dematha. dematha, man-to-man defense. Inside the Couch, kicks it right back to Pelfrey. Pelfrey moving for the jump shot. Again, he's off the mark. That's about 0 for 6 or 7. 12-8, 4-point dematha lead.
Mustaf keeps this up, he's going to break his own Beach Ball Classic rebounding record.
And you're going to have that for us shortly, aren't you? Here's Mustaf inside for an easy one. Mustaf and Bobby Hill are doing the scoring for dematha. Gwynn's been doing the playmaking. Smith off the bench with a good job. And dematha has its biggest lead of 6 points.
Gerard Mustaf, 45 rebounds in the 3-game Classic in 1985.
Adkins finally gets Paintsville on the scoring column in the second quarter. Cuts the lead back to 4, 14-10. 6.5 minutes to go till halftime. 2-3 zone by Paintsville. Using this zone, trying to stop Mustaf. There's Mustaf. He deals it outside, and driving in is Claw Smith. Mark Smith penetrating to score. 16-10. Well, we said Morgan Wooten was still searching for his starting lineup, and Mark Smith making his bid here tonight to claim one of those spots. There's Pelfrey. Pelfrey on the turnaround, off balance. Nope, still hasn't scored.
Pelfrey and Gwynn, neither one of them have been able to buy a bucket. Of course, Gwynn hasn't taken as many shots as Pelfrey.
Pelfrey's taken at least 7 shots, and he is 0 for the night. 16-10. Mustaf, and he is fouled by Pelfrey the other end, and Pelfrey may be getting a little frustrated. I wonder if Bill Mike Runyon's thinking about setting Pelfrey down for a minute or two. Of course, he's got to hesitate to take the guy out there. He's only size 6'7". Yeah,
they take him out, and Mustaf will have a field day.
I believe they got another foul on Pelfrey, and they may be forced to take him out. That's the second straight foul on John Pelfrey.
His second.
2 in a row, and he's 0 for 7 and no scores. And it's killing Paintsville right now with 5:42 to go in the first half. They lob it inside to Hill, and he missed an easy one. Pelfrey does get the rebound. That's why they got to keep him in there. Atkins driving and pulls up for the short one. Atkins has hit the last 2, and the only scores this quarter for Paintsville. 4-point lead by DeMatha. They go on to Mustaf. He's going to be short with that one, and Pelfrey's there to block him out. Well, Pelfrey's done one thing and done it well for Paintsville. He's blocked out and rebounded well. Here's Pelfrey driving and finally hitting. Oh, Pelfrey finally breaks his drought after almost 3 minutes into the second quarter, and it's 16 to 14, but he missed about 8 shots before he connected. Now let's see if he takes off. And with all that, DeMatha's lead is just 2 points. John Gwynn coming to the backcourt here with Belenis. Drive by Belenis, and he walks. Double dribbles. A turnover to Paintsville and a chance for the Tigers to tie the score.
Got an opportunity, if we still have it, to take a look at Gerard Mustaf on offense. We saw him a minute ago when he was able to slam dunk that ball. Apparently not going to be able to look at it right now, but you saw the way he's been able to take the ball right to the hoop.
And the Joey Couch up there against Mustaf, and Pelfrey's got it for the layup, and he's fouled on the play, and the basket's good. And Paintsville has tied the score, and Pelfrey's got a chance to put his team ahead.
All of a sudden, he's come alive.
Well, you got to hand it to Bill Mike Runyon. He's stuck with the guy, even though he's having a miserable shooting night, but now he's beginning to light it up.
Well, let's take another look at Pelfrey's effort there on that last play. There you see the pass inside. He just goes right to the hoop after the missed shot, keeps battling for it, and then puts it in. But he's unable to connect on the three-point play, missing the free throw.
Score tied at 16, 4:25 remaining in the first half. Mustaf coming out of the low post.
Greg Brown is in the ball game now for DeMatha. I expected to see him a little earlier.
And Paintsville back in a man-to-man. Switching defenses here, trying to keep DeMatha off stride. Here comes Gwynn with that quick jump shot.
You leave him that open, he's going to hit.
Streak shooter. Let's see what happens from here. 18-16. Maybe Gwynn and Pelfrey beginning to find their range.
If they do, we'll have a good show, Jim.
Yep. Another shootout. Mike Minix in traffic. And to Pelfrey, knocked out of bounds by Smith. Well, I'd like this Mark Smith kid off the bench tonight.
Pelfrey now is playing a little bit of a lower post or more of a post position. You noticed in the first quarter he was playing very much outside. And though he likes the outside shot, he's finding he's having more success inside right now.
They kick it right back out to Atkins. Been tough in that spot, and Mustaf snaps off the rebound.
He easily has a half a dozen rebounds.
DeMatha by 2. Now 3:20 remaining in the first half. Under to Mustaf, and he was blocked out of there. He threw up an off-balance shot, and Paintsville's going to have a chance to tie the score. They get the ball to Pelfrey on the move. Nobody under, and he bombs it away. Well, Pelfrey now suddenly becoming just as hot as he was cold in the first quarter. We're tied for the third time. 3 minutes to go till halftime. Now Paintsville back to a zone. They switch about every other time down court. Greg Brown's in that guard now. Here's a jump shot by Gwynn. Mustaf picks it back up inside and pulled off again. A great block in there, but they're going to call a foul on Jared Gray. And that might have been a bad call. I'm not sure. It
may have been a makeup call, because I want to tell you, John Gwynn and Gerard Mustaf were both fouled on their shot attempts, and while that looked like a block, they called that one a foul.
4 points for Mark Smith, and now he goes up to the line for 2 shots. 13th foul against Paintsville. And a tie score. Boy, thing about Morgan Wooden's teams, they're never short in any department. Fundamentally, always sound.
It's a joy to watch them practice. It really is. You talk about playing a game, but last year I got as much enjoyment out of watching them practice as I did actually play the game.
Tracy Burgon comes back in now, replacing John Gwynn. So Morgan's going to let Gwynn rest. He's going to watch another combination.
Gwynn with 2 personal fouls. Coach Wooten electing to give him a break, maybe for the rest of the half, although I don't know if he can sit down that long.
Always looking inside to Pelfrey. That intended for Pelfrey was deflected. Now they go. Pelfrey again, and it's picked off. Smith feeding down to Burgon, who lets it go and then feeds it off nicely to his teammate Brown. Boy, that was beautiful team play, and 4-point lead again here by DeMatha. Penix looking for Pelfrey. Here he comes. Right back to Couch. Couch spins around, blocked out.
What a great block by Mustaff, and what a good pass by Burgon on this previous play. Let's take another look at the DeMatha fast break if we can before the ball's brought back in bounds. Here you see it, the pass. There's Burgon. He's too far under the hoop, so he goes to Brown, who puts it in.
Back to the action here, and Couch underneath has it blocked away. Lead pass to Brown. Brown pulls up for the bank shot. Mustaff tips it outside, but it's grabbed here by Couch, and here comes Paintsville trailing by 4.
Brown missed a golden opportunity there. If he'd have lobbed the ball up around the rim, Mustaff would have slammed it.
Jump shot by Penix. 22-20, 2-point DeMatha lead. 1:45 remaining, and this one is matching our first game. Basket for basket. Here's a foul away from the basket, and that's going to be on Couch. It's tough for Couch not to be physical. Great football player. And played football at about 240 pounds. Linebacker. A lot of coaches going to be looking around his address.
I'm sure of that.
DeMatha leads it by 2. 1:42 remaining in the first half.
Could you imagine him and that Tim Spain kid from Myrtle Beach out there at the same time?
Be a lot of passing in that game, wouldn't it? Screen for Brown. Good block out over there, but Couch couldn't hold it, and right back in comes Bobby D. Everhart to score. 24-20 DeMatha by 2. Oh, great pass to Couch for the layup. That's a great athletic move. No wonder he's a fine football player.
And that was a great pass, no question about that.
24-22 DeMatha. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go.
Keith Adkins made that pass, and as you said, Couch making a great move to get the bucket.
Burgon comes back here to Brown and to Mustaff, and Mustaff is tripped and fouled.
He's unstoppable in the paint. I mean, they don't have anybody in there who can take him.
Keith Atkins tripped him trying to double team him. Now Mustaff will go to the line for the 1-and-1. DeMatha's 2 for 2 at the line as a team. Officials, by the way, Sam Jones and Benny McCoy.
DeMatha should keep going inside to Mustaff, because that is just, at this point, at least get it. When they get it to him, he's unstoppable in there. He's either going to get fouled or he's going to get the bucket. Now he's got to make free throws, though, if you're going to get fouled.
Yeah, that's kind of a brick throw right there. 58 seconds remaining in the half. 24-22 DeMatha. This will complete the first round, and our semifinals will be set after tonight. That should be some night tomorrow.
It's always the greatest night of the Beach Ball Classic when these 4 teams get together in the semifinal rounds. Last year, both games went down to the final second, decided by 1 point.
Paintsville is always looking for Pelfrey. And, of course, Couch is in the center of things, too. Now, here it goes to Pelfrey. Pelfrey fires it under to Couch for a layup. Well, that was a great pass from Pelfrey.
Great recognition by Pelfrey. He knew he had Mustaff in his face. It might be blocked, so he knew somebody else had to be open.
25-24. Morgan Wood just held up 1 finger. So DeMatha's going to try to hold it here for 1 shot, and they catch Paintsville back in the zone, so it should be easy. 15 seconds.
One key for DeMatha, excuse me, Jim, is that Gwynn went out with 2.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter with 2 fouls, and DeMatha had the lead. They still have the lead at the half. Well, they could still have the lead at the half.
Yeah, Everhart. Now here's Pelfrey, 50-footer by Pelfrey, and the half will end with DeMatha up by 1. And an interesting first half between these two teams here representing the Washington, D.C. area and the state of Kentucky in the Beach Ball Classic.
Keep in mind what Coach Runyon said before the game. He said if the game's in the 60s, we might win. If it's in the 80s, we won't win. It's where he wants it right now.
All right, we'll be back with our halftime with Jeff in a moment. The halftime score, DeMatha 25, Paintsville 24. This is a Production Group sports presentation. Second half of this game is coming up, and it's anybody's ball game. DeMatha leading Paintsville here by just 1 point, 25-24. And speaking of the Tigers from Kentucky, earlier Jeff McMurdy talked with Paintsville coach Bill Mike Runyon about what he had to do to win this game. So let's go to that interview now. Jeff?
My players have never played a team of this caliber. We've played some good teams in the past, but never a team of this caliber.
And of course, your team comes into this game with a 6-2 record on the year. What can we look for from Paintsville? How do you attack DeMatha? What are the things you have to do to be successful tonight?
Well, the first thing we have to do, Jeff, is set our own tempo. We can't afford to let the score get up there in the high 70s and low 80s. We've got to keep the score down and control the pace of the game.
You play a game similar to the style we saw Mercer Island play in this game that just finished. They seem to be kind of deliberate as well.
Yes, we do. We play that type game because we're not the quickest team in the world, you know, and we've got to kind of try to work the ball around and take the good shot.
The Beach Ball Classic has not been... And that, of course, the thoughts of Coach Bill Mike Runyon before the ball game tonight, and he hit the nail right on the head, Jim Thacker. They kept the pace of the game where they wanted it, and even though they trail by 1 at half, they have to feel pretty good about it.
Well, they got the game in the 20s here at halftime, Mike, and you've already pointed out that's exactly what Bill Mike Runyon wanted to have, and he's got that. The thing he doesn't have is the lead.
That's right.
But he's just one behind. That guy could be a very big key for him. John Pelfrey opened cold as a mackerel and then finally found the range a little bit in the second quarter and wound up with 6 points, just one behind Joey Couch.
Let's take a look at some of the first half statistics for this ball game. DeMatha shooting 75% from the free throw line. Paintsville 2 out of 3 basically. And field goal percentage, Paintsville, DeMatha about even. Fouls not really a problem for either team at this point. Rebounds, DeMatha with the big guy, Gerard Mustaf, controlling the boards in there, largely out-rebounding Paintsville, and assists pretty even. And as you would expect, a pretty even ball game, only a 1-point ball game. Key for DeMatha, I think, in this second half is they got to get John Gwynn into the offense.
Well, the Gwynn really never got untracked. He scored only 2 points. Mustaf and Bobby Hill did most of the scoring, but Mark Smith came off the bench. And don't be too surprised to see Smith start this second half, number 20, as he came in at guard and did a great job. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see him in there for Morgan Wooden, who was searching for the right combination anyway when he came into this tournament.
And he really still is, and it was a key point in the second quarter with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter. John Gwynn went to the bench with his second personal foul. I questioned at the time the decision to send Gwynn to the bench for the last 2.5 minutes of the game, of the half, but it worked for them, and he's there.
20s, well, we're getting underway here with the second half, and the winner of this game, of course, is going to play Eau Claire of South Carolina, and no matter which one wins, that should be some ball game tomorrow night. And of course, the opening game should be a dandy too.
Oh, no question about it. Binghamton, New York, and their great guard King Rice, and a long-awaited matchup with Archbishop Malloy and their great guard Kenny Anderson.
And I understand that King Rice has asked his coach to let him guard Kenny Anderson, so that's going to be the matchup.
It's going to be a show, and we had an opportunity to talk to Kenny Anderson, and we'll have part of that interview for you before the Binghamton game as our semifinal action gets underway Monday night.
DeMatha is going to open up with full all-out man-for-man pressure, and Paintsville hoping that John Pelfrey can pick up things here in the second half better than he did at the outset of the ball game when he was pressing a little bit, perhaps. Anyway, his shot was off the mark, and when Pelfrey isn't hitting his outside shot, then Paintsville loses a lot of its offense. Paintsville immediately will have a chance to take the lead. They're down by 1 point. There's Pelfrey, up over Hill. Pelfrey, and he starts the right move.
And that's where he needs to be shooting from, not that first quarter stuff, that 19-foot out. And maybe he can hit that jump shot, and he did show us he could, but he needs to be in that paint.
Paintsville takes the lead. Man-for-man defense now by Paintsville. Here's Gwynn. Going off to Everhard. Bobby D. Everhard gets the lead right back for DeMatha. So we've had two quick lead changes here in the first 45 seconds of the third quarter. 27-26 DeMatha. Joey Couch looking inside to Pelfrey.
You notice Bobby Hill's job is to sag back and help Mustaf with Pelfrey.
That was kind of a brick thrown up there by Mike Minix. And here's DeMatha now looking to add on to its lead. Great drive down the middle by Gwynn.
He can be explosive on that first step. If he gets by you, he is that. He's by you and in the hoop usually.
29-26. Morgan Woods does have one of the most astounding statistics I've ever heard of. Look at Couch working on the inside. Good block out in there by Bergen. Tracy Bergen leading the attack after getting that rebound. Check down here by Atkins. Now here's Gwynn. Gwynn with a reverse jump shot. Rebound Mustaf, the big guy puts it back in. Boy, that height really means so much to DeMatha, 31-26. But you watch DeMatha play here, just consider that in Morgan Wooten's long career, and he's won over 800 games, every player that's ever started for him or ever played for him has gotten a college scholarship. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. It's just a great credit to the man and to that institution.
Joey Couch cuts the margin back to 3, 31-28.
Tigers in a 2-3 zone.
Gwynn has come outside the perimeter now against this 2-3 zone. There's Gwynn, hooks that ball on the baseline to Hill. Hill's shot, and Mustaf's got it for the jam.
Oh boy, Gerard Mustaf with authority.
5-point lead by DeMatha now. Is DeMatha beginning to move away here? We'll see. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They've gone from 1 point down to 5 up. Moved by Minix. Minix inside and draws the foul.
That foul
on Everhard is third.
Oh, it might be on Mustaf.
Well, let's see.
I'm not sure, but it looked like they were waving at him.
Bobby D. Everhard.
You're right.
Give it to Everhard. But that was a great drive by Mike Minix. A very creative player.
Let's take a look at Mustaf on offense. He's been a highlight film tonight himself with his play inside. And instead of now we're going to take a look at the foul on the play. And there it is. Yeah, Everhard with the body. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jim.
3-point play doesn't come off. 33-30, and DeMatha's lead is 3. Under 5 minutes now remaining in the third period. Here goes Gwynn. Gwynn to the baseline. And there's Mustaf again, and Mustaf going again for it, draws the foul. Boy, his size is meaning so much. I think that's going to be on Todd Burchell, but let's wait and see if Pelfrey was in there, and they're going to say it was Pelfrey. Third foul on John Pelfrey. And now Bill McRundy's got another problem to worry about.
In the 1985 finals, Gerard Mustaf had 18 rebounds. That is a tournament record. He has 13 already in this game. Keep your eye on him.
Be hard to miss him. There goes Mustaf again inside. 13 points now for Gerard Mustaf. 35-30. DeMatha stags by 5. Morgan Wooten has 828 coaching victories. Here goes Pelfrey banking and drawing a foul. That'll be a blocking foul on Bobby Hill, who's drawn the assignment to try and stop the elusive Pelfrey.
Coach Wooten got his 800th win right here on this floor last year in the Beach Ball Classic, Jim, and we presented the ball to him right before the championship game. And he said afterwards, he said, I didn't even realize that was win number 800.
Pelfrey could get double figures here if he could hit a pair of free throws. Got 9. Averaging almost 19 a game. being recruited heavily by Marshall University, among others. 35-32. 3-point lead by DeMatha over Paintsville, Kentucky. Paintsville back in the zone, trying to encircle Mustaf in here.
And your boy Mark Smith's back in the lineup.
There goes Gwynn. Gwynn from the outside. That'll open up a zone. 37-32. Well, Smith had a great first half, 6 points. Outside. That would have been good for 3 points in college. 11 points for Couch, who usually was been playing on the inside, 37-34.
He looked like a Pro Bowler after that shot. You see the emphasis he made to try to get it to go in?
Little body English. Mustaf jockeying in the inside. Gwynn lets it go again. Rebound Mustaf again and tipped up. And now here's Bobby Hill powering inside to score. So the power of the offensive boards by DeMatha is beginning to wear down Paintsville. 39-34, DeMatha back to another 5-point lead. Boy, a backdoor cut there by Mike Minix. Now long one by Atkins swishes. 39-36. Paintsville still keeps hanging in there in striking distance.
They refuse to die. They remind me a little bit of Saukesty, the team that, of course, plays right here on this court. They're the kind of team to play behind most of the game, but just seem to hang in there and always have a chance to win, or at least in this game they're playing that way. They've
been destroyed here in this quarter by the offensive rebounding of DeMatha. Well, there's one that went right through Mustaf's hands. Caromed off the board, and Paintsville gets the turnover. Chance to pull back within one. 2:25 to go. And the third period. Saw Pelfrey wanting the ball to go to the right side. Here's Pelfrey guarded by Hill. Pelfrey beginning to back in. Pelfrey on the fall-away shot. Rebound by Hill. So Hill did the job. Bergen feeds inside to Hill for a drive. Rebound Pelfrey. Comes out of there with it for Paintsville. 3-3 break. And Paintsville's going to have to set up their half-court offense. Oh, that was a dangerous pass, but picked up back here by Atkins. Atkins drives now and hits.
Keith Atkins has hit 2 jumpers in a row, and they could really use that to complement the inside play of Pelfrey.
Now Paintsville's back within 1 after being down by 5 about 3 different times here in the third period. Let's see if they go back to Mustaf. Up Gwynn hanging in there. Rebound Minix. No, it's Joey Couch.
Boy, there is a big cheering section here for Paintsville. Maybe we can get a shot of them a little later. They're down on the far end of the court.
They brought about 150 people here, and here's going to be an easy one inside by Minix. Paintsville leads 40-39. About 150 people made the trip up here from Paintsville, Kentucky. DeMatha asked for a timeout with 1:13 to go in the third quarter as Paintsville has regained the lead. This is a Production Group sports presentation. Well, this Paintsville team here from Kentucky's got quite a following, as Jeff mentioned. And Coach Runyon told us yesterday at least 150 people, maybe more, made the trip down here. Of course, tickets are a premium here, aren't they?
Yes, they certainly are. Not to mention some of the local fans seem to be pulling for the underdog a little bit here as well. They've watched DeMatha win every game they've played out here over the last couple of years, and, you know.
It wouldn't be out of the imagination to find an Eau Claire rooter or two maybe pulling for Paintsville, too.
Perhaps.
Nobody cherishes the idea of playing DeMatha. 40-39, Paintsville leads. As soon as DeMatha lost that lead, Morgan Wooten came off the bench for a timeout. Zone defense by Paintsville.
DeMatha's a little frustrated against this zone. They need somebody to pop a couple of outside shots.
And there's the ball fumbled out by Mustaf. Paintsville's going to get the turnover, and the momentum definitely is turned around here late in the third period.
It is with them.
40-39. And Wide open, Pelfrey. He doesn't miss that one.
John Pelfrey.
12 points for Pelfrey.
He had enough time to eat his lunch out there before he took that shot.
That's the first time Paintsville's led by more than 1 point. 3-point lead. 30 seconds to go in the third period. There goes Gwynn trying to get his team back in there, and Gwynn will try to rally him with shots like that. Gwynn and Mustaf carrying DeMatha right here in the third period, cutting the lead to 1 point, 42-41 Paintsville.
If Paintsville stays with that zone, Gwynn might get hot.
Paintsville tried it for the last shot here in the quarter. They lob it in there to Pelfrey. Pelfrey gets off a left-hand shot and hits just ahead of the buzzer, and Paintsville has come from 1 point down the half to go 3 up, heading for the fourth quarter. It's Paintsville 44, DeMatha 41 with the fourth period coming on. This is a Productions Group sports presentation.
Going into the fourth quarter, Paintsville leading by 3, and one of the reasons is the play of number 33, John Pelfrey for the Paintsville Tigers. Let's take a look at his last bucket. Down underneath, as Jim Thacker said, they worked the ball into, and there you see Adkins going inside to Pelfrey. He had 2 men on him, and he put it up with the left hand. What a pretty play by Pelfrey.
And Pelfrey's the guy who couldn't hit the side of the barn in the first quarter. He went 0 for about the first 7 or 8 shots.
The reason is he was shooting from 20 feet and beyond.
So now DeMatha's got to come from behind here in the fourth quarter to preserve their winning streak on this floor. They've never lost in this classic, 6-0. And they're down by 3, 44-41 Paintsville. Belenis back in there. Here's Gwynn. Let's see if Gwynn can get hot. He may. John Gwynn, that's 8 points since halftime, 44-43 Paintsville.
I'm telling you right now, Paintsville's not going to be able to stay in that zone and win this game. Gwynn will keep hitting those shots.
Paintsville, well-coached team. Atkins gets it right back to Pelfrey out of the corner. Rebound is off to DeMatha. Here comes Gwynn. Atkins backing up. Gwynn charges into him, and they got a block on Atkins. Got in there too late. Second foul on Atkins. Only the second team foul, though, this half. So both these teams in good shape as far as the bonus is concerned. Just 2 fouls apiece.
Not a popular call that time by any stretch of the imagination, but Gwynn is really letting himself be known right now out on that floor. And they're looking for it, too. They want to work it back to the weak side on that swing pass back to Gwynn.
That's going to be Belenis instead. Rebound picked up by Joey Couch. Good block out for Paintsville. Paintsville hangs on to the lead by the tip of its fingernails. 44-41. Still almost 7 minutes to go. Lennox spotting Atkins. Long one by Atkins. Yes. 10 points for Keith Atkins.
Atkins has hit his last 3 shots in a row, and he seems to feel real good about his shot right now.
Well, Jeff, he's definitely a pure shooter. They say he's definitely going to be an outstanding 3-point shooter in college. And I believe. Here goes Gwynn again.
Speaking of an outstanding shooter.
John Gwynn, 12 points. Had only 2 at halftime. 46-45 Paintsville. Now this has become a dramatic battle here now. Here's DeMatha set up in the trap. Paintsville sees that. They spread out. Ball knocked away from Pelfrey. You got to keep the ball away from the corners when they're in a trapping defense. They'll use those sidelines to trap you. Pelfrey takes it inside and scores. 16 points for John Pelfrey.
Caught DeMatha napping on that one.
Paintsville back to a 3-point lead. This is exactly the type game Paintsville likes to play.
You heard Coach Runyon at halftime talking about that. He said if it's in the 60s, we can win it. If it's in the 80s, we won't.
There goes Gwynn again. Nobody's perfect, and Pelfrey's got the rebound. Clears it out here to Minix. Oh, Minix lets it go. Nobody under, and he hits. That was one of those, oh, no, oh, yeah. 5-point lead by Paintsville is the biggest by the Tigers. 5:35 to go. These Paintsville people from the Big Sandy in Kentucky are going bananas.
They are fired up. They are playing the number 24 team in the nation. They are playing a team that's never lost on this court.
Inside to Mustaf, and that's the first time they've gotten it in there this quarter, and it pays off. Paintsville by 3, 50-47. DeMatha set to trap in the zone. Paintsville spread out. What minute he gets across there, they come with the double team. Down it goes. They leave Pell. They're going to leave Pelfrey open. That'll be dangerous. Long one outside by Atkins. Rebound snared here by DeMatha. And here come the Stags, trailing by just 3. Belenas down to Gwynn. And the rebound, Paintsville. They got a lead man out here, and Mike Minix. Minix pulls up in the paint and hits. 52-47. Paintsville again by 5. Boy, Paintsville's got confidence now.
They really do, and they've got the fans on their side, too.
4.5 minutes to go in the game. It takes a lot of beating, though, to beat a DeMatha team. Belenas outside.
Boy, he needed that one. He's been bricking them from out there. He really needed that shot.
52-49. DeMatha back within 3. Still over 4 minutes to go. There's the trap. Beaten by Atkins on the dribble. Atkins whistles that ball inside, and there's a shot that is hit on a foul by Joey Couch.
When you're hot, you're hot. Let's take another look at Joey Couch going inside, working. Here you see the pass. Atkins, good pass into Couch, good move inside, and he got the roll.
Mustaf, I think, gets the second foul. I'll tell you, Jeff, you watch this Paintsville team here, and this is so typical of Kentucky high school basketball teams, especially in the eastern part of the state, from where Paintsville comes. They just love this type of tempo. They come down and play you. They love man-on-man play, and they really make shots count. 3-point opportunity for Joey Couch.
Got to look at Coach Runyon there. He likes what he's seeing right now. He'd like to have had that free throw, though. 5-point
lead by Paintsville, 54-49. 4 minutes to go. It's going to be a tense 4 minutes. Can feel it.
They're going to look inside to Mustaf, but Gwynn is the man who will take the outside shot.
There's Mustaf up over Pelfrey. No. Rebound on the floor, and a personal foul is going to be called on Belenas. Belenas of DeMatha picks up the foul, his first.
I thought the foul was on Joey Couch.
I think you're right. Was on. Got to see it again.
All right, let's take another look at that play. You see Mustaf working hard. They get the ball into him, and there it is. The rebound comes off. Couch is battling, and it could have went either way.
It did go on Belenas. They gave him the ball to Paintsville. 54-49. 5-point lead by Paintsville. 5:41 to go.
Big possession this time for great steal.
Yeah, steal by Bergen. Bergen coming down on Couch. Here's Bergen on the drive. Well, that's a big steal, 54-51. Paintsville had the ball with a 5-point lead. They got careless. And you don't leave doors open for DeMatha. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Another steal by Gwynn. DeMatha can pull within 1.
And there's the senior right there pulling the ball out.
Remember these turnarounds. 2 steals inside Mustaf. Nope. Rebound by Joey Couch. Couch double team. Pilot clears it outside to Mike Minix. Here comes Paintsville. Minix is going to go all the way for the layup. Hits it. No basket. Charging foul on Minix.
It is a charging foul, but the question is, will the basket count? I don't know.
No, official put the hand behind his head, I believe, Jeff. That means no basket.
Okay, you're absolutely right. No basket, and that's a big play. And what a play by Tracy Bergen. All he did was establish position. He had no idea where Minix was going to go. He just established his position and said, come on, fella.
You know, I thought Minix cut to his left there, but apparently the defensive player didn't move. Stood his ground. Boy, DeMatha has come up with big plays. Belenas on the outside, right down to Joey Couch. Well, Paintsville comes up with another key rebound, holding a 3-point lead. 2:29, but already DeMatha has flashed the defensive plays, and they've come out of the zone trap now, and they're going man-to-man. Timeout, Paintsville. So Bill Mike wants to talk to his team. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go in this game, Paintsville has turned it around here in the 4th quarter. They lead it by 3, and we'll be back. This is a Production Group Sports presentation. Well, the Paintsville Tigers, they're out of Kentucky's 15th region, and that's part of their Sweet 16 romance down there, the far eastern part of the state. They're 6-2 coming in here. They're ranked number 7 in the state of Kentucky. They won the Begley-Hillbrook tournament in Lexington. They lost to 2 Louisville teams this year, Louisville Southern, Louisville Doss, but they beat Kentucky's number 1 ranked team, Henry Clay of Lexington. They also beat another top 5 team, Lexington Lafayette. So Paintsville's capable of beating the best.
They sure are, and as we mentioned, they have some great fans down here, but they also have their cheerleading squad down here as well. And right now, one of their cheerleaders is on the floor. She suffered a head injury on a little routine that they were doing right before we came back from the break. Of course, we don't know her name. We don't know the extent of the injury or anything, but I noticed that, as you can see, they're huddled around her right now. I mean, you could tell she was in pain. She went down, she grabbed her head, and hopefully she just had the wind knocked out of her.
Well, she's on her feet now.
But that's smarts.
Yeah, may have a headache tomorrow, but if Paintsville wins, she won't mind.
That'd be better than Excedrin.
2:21 to go. DeMatha battling here for its life. They're trailing Paintsville, Kentucky by 3 points, 54-51.
I think the Stags will keep trying to go inside to Mustaf. He's missed a couple of easy shots inside that he knows he should have made. And what Mustaf will do if he's double teamed, he won't hesitate to push it back out to Gwynn, who will not hesitate to get the jumper up. Well, on the other hand, Paintsville, Adkins right now with that hot hand is helping because Pelfrey is not the only man they'll go to now. They have Adkins who can shoot as well.
Well, they also have Minix, who scored 13 points, and Couch, who scored 13. Pelfrey's high man was 16. Well, they've got a good balance there. This is Minix. Minix looks a lot like Couch, and he's not quite as big. Down to Pelfrey, open. Forget it.
That's a great pass by Adkins. You don't think about that, but he passed that ball just outreach of the DeMatha player's hands, and it was able to free Pelfrey for the easier shot.
Here is a foul now off the ball, and that's committed by Todd Burchell, and this is going to give DeMatha 1-1. 1:58 to go in the game. DeMatha's down by 5 points. Burchell committed the foul, and it is team foul number 4 against Paintsville, so no 1-1 yet. Tipped pass. They get it over to Gwynn. Gwynn lets it go.
I think Everhart has to take that shot.
Bergen under to Gwynn, and they're still battling, and Pelfrey has got it now for Paintsville, and releasing here is Minix. Minix has got an open court. 58-51. Paintsville's biggest lead of the game, 7 points, and now DeMatha's really in deep trouble. Minute 35 to go. Zone defense. This will take more time for DeMatha to get a good shot.
That's double dribble.
That sure was, and he got away with it.
And then there was a foul. I wonder if we can look at that again. I don't know for sure, but Mustaf definitely dribbled the ball, and I think the fans know it. We're going to take a look at it right here. Here's a pass inside to Mustaf. All right, it's coming up. There it is. Puts the ball on the ground, and then he puts it on the ground again a second time.
Foul is on Todd Burchell, though, and this will start a 1-1. That foul was away from Mustaf.
Big break for DeMatha.
And they fouled Mark Smith, who was kind of a second quarter hero, but he disappeared after that. Now he's back on the line at a critical time. His team down by 7. 1-1. DeMatha needs about everything it can get right now. They're down by 6, 1:24 remaining. Paintsville has showed it can play in the pressure moments. Five-point game.
Full court pressure.
Yeah, and they get the release pass down here to Adkins. Timeout, Paintsville. So Bill McRunyon's going to talk to his team. Now just a minute 22 seconds away from what would be one of the biggest victories in Paintsville history. They're leading by 5, and we'll be right back. This is a Production Group sports presentation. 58-53, Paintsville leading DeMatha, the fabulous team out of Washington, D.C. area that's won this tournament twice, never lost here in 6 trips. But Paintsville is now making a bid to oust the Stags. The winner will play Eau Claire in the semifinals tomorrow night. The loser in the loser's bracket has to play Mercer Island, Washington, so that'll be no picnic either.
It doesn't get any easier in this tournament. Whether you win or lose, you've always got a tough game.
Paintsville ball, minute 22 to go. They've got a 5-point lead. They don't need any baskets. They need to run out the clock, forcing DeMatha to foul.
But they're double teaming the ball everywhere. That means somebody's going to be open.
Yeah, the foul's on Mustaf.
And I don't think I'd have fouled Atkins, not the way he's been shooting in the second half.
Well, he's their best pure shooter, great passer, not much of a penetrator, but a good player. So Atkins will go to the line now for 1-1, and this is going to be very crucial now for Paintsville's chances. If they hit their free throws, DeMatha might not be able to beat them. Big miss. 58-53, DeMatha can pull within 3, and we got over a minute to play.
They want to go inside to Mustaf.
It's going to be Eberhard, though. They can't wait. Too strong. Loose ball, and is picked up inside and scored on a timeout for DeMatha. They didn't get it called in time, and here is Minix for an easy layup. They tried to call timeout and didn't get it.
I think they had it called in time. I think the referee missed it.
60-55, 48 seconds to go. Inside is Gwynn for a shot. Now they do get timeout. Gwynn scores, and with 43 seconds to go, DeMatha is back within 3. It is 60-57. And Paintsville now is going to have the battle of its life, but DeMatha is definitely on the ropes.
Coach Wooten there talking to the referee saying, hey, come on, you saw it that time, but you didn't see it the time before. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. Of course, this last bucket by DeMatha. Okay, there's the missed shot. Gwynn fighting, or Smith battling inside. He got it, and there's the timeout call. That time they saw it. The time before they didn't see it. You notice all 5 DeMatha players had the timeout call there.
But you have to credit Paintsville with being an alert team.
That's for sure.
Minix got that ball and didn't hesitate to see if there was a timeout call. He headed for the basket and scored a very big layup, and it may turn out to be critical for the outcome of this game, giving Paintsville the moment a 5-point lead, and now allows them to be ahead by 3 with 43 seconds to go.
Well, last time in this situation, DeMatha came out in the full court man-to-man press, and they burn it deep by throwing the ball to Atkins on the release. And let's see this time how DeMatha will stack up their defense against these Paintsville Tigers, which obviously you know they're going to do the man-to-man full court press again. Mustaf's going to be on the ball. He's going to give Atkins fits.
That's going to make it tough to try to throw a long pass or a breakaway. There was the break. And they come in bounds instead here to Burchell. Now Atkins fouled in the backcourt. That personal foul on Smith. 37 seconds to go. Remember, though, Atkins missed his last free throw, and now he's got to go up there for a most important front end again.
And it's one-on-one opportunity, too, so if he misses the front end of this, he doesn't get the second shot.
He just missed the front end of a 1-on-1 a moment ago. That can be on his mind, but he's an excellent player, junior, and a good shooter. He'll get the bonus this time, 61-57. 4-point lead. Now that's a very big one here. 5-point lead will look good with 37 seconds to go. 5-point lead by Paintsville. They're bidding to take DeMatha out of the field for the first time ever in 3 trips. Now here goes Gwynn. Letting it rope. Gwynn hits a big one. Another timeout for DeMatha. DeMatha will have one more timeout they can call. They get this one with 27 seconds to go. And they're down by 3.
And of course, they once again will be in that same situation. They'll have to try to do something with the out-of-bounds play here. They'll come up with the full court pressure. And Paintsville, I'm sure, just wants to get the ball probably in the hands of Atkins right now. They'd like to get it in his hands and get him to the free throw line, or of course their big star Pelfrey.
Well, Paintsville's far from being out of the woods, though. Very aggressive defensive team in DeMatha. Plus, they've had a history of winning, and that means so much in situations like this.
And the man they go to in these situations, as we take a look at the play again, is John Gwynn. I knew when he was coming down the court that he was the one that was going to shoot, and he knew it too. He went straight up with that shot. And I'll tell you what, if John Gwynn wasn't as cold as he was in the first quarter, you know, we might have a different ball game right now, but ifs and buts and candy and nuts.
A lot of ifs. Maybe if Pelfrey hadn't been as cold as he was, Paintsville might have been unbeatable by now.
But look at where the score is. Coach Runyon said if it's in the 60s, we win. If it's in the 80s, we don't. He's in the 60s.
62-59 is definitely not going to be in the 80s. Let's forget about 6 overtimes.
But his point was he needed to have a deliberate pace. They needed to play at their pace, and they were able to do that.
3-point lead. They go into Minix. Minix double teamed, and he's fouled in the backcourt. They got to put Minix on the line now. The foul's by Bergen. And Minix will come down. He's 1 for 2 tonight, but 17 points. They got 4 starters in double figures. Paintsville does. No points off the bench. As a matter of fact, Jared Gray played only just a moment or two in the first half, and this 5 has been an Iron Man stand here in the second half. Todd Burchell scoring 2 points. But now Minix, who had that big layup a moment ago, misses the front end, and another chance for DeMatha. 24 seconds to go.
Here comes Gwynn.
Yep,
he's going to shoot.
Gwynn driving. Rebound is off down there by Couch, and he's personal foul on Pelfrey. Oh, what a critical turnaround.
Oh, wait a minute.
Pelfrey fouled on the rebound. What a break for DeMatha.
Was it Pelfrey or Couch? I don't know, but it was a critical play there. No question about that for them to foul.
Going to be a 1-on-1 for DeMatha with 18 seconds to go because Couch had the rebound.
Yeah, whoever the foul was on, Couch is over there discussing it with the referee right now, but he's not going to win that discussion. Bobby D. Everhart, a good shooter, good free throw shooter. Let's see if he can bring DeMatha within 1.
Oh, those 2 big misses now really loom big. Rebound again by Couch. And this time Couch is fouled. That stops the clock with 17 seconds to go, and Couch will go to the line. That foul was committed by Mark Smith of DeMatha. And now Couch, who's been a key player for Paintsville, comes down. He's not been a good free thrower tonight, though. Only 1 out of 3, 13 points. But he's a competitor. Great football player. Had to lose about 20 pounds here after football season to get in shape for basketball. Too strong. Moustap's got it. They got 15 seconds. DeMatha's down by 3. Bergen comes to the baseline. He's trapped down there, and he steps out of bounds, and Paintsville gets the ball with 8 seconds to go, and that might be the clincher, but let's wait and see. Morgan Wooten waving at his team. He wants to pressure defense on.
They're going to foul somebody.
Now they get it down to Pelfrey. Pelfrey's got it. Paintsville.
They can't foul anyone.
Minix is fouled.
There's a 2-shot intentional foul, probably.
That'll be on Everhart. And that's going to be 2 shots, and that may be history now for DeMatha in this tournament. Paintsville fans are delirious here. They've come down here from Eastern Kentucky in numbers, and they've seen this young, gritty team fight its way from behind against one of the legendary teams in the country, and it looks like they're going to beat them. They got a 3-point lead with 5 seconds to go. Well, let's just say they are going to beat them. I think it's out of DeMatha's hands. And Minix is going to put it beyond reach anyway. 63-59.
Another great ball game. Boy, we've been blessed with some good ones, haven't we?
Well, you have empathy for Morgan Wooten. Great coach and an outstanding program, but what a heartwarming win this is for Paintsville. Paintsville's going to get the ball anyway. That was an intentional foul. All right, Paintsville fans are going to remember this one for a long time. Everybody, of course, has heard of DeMatha.
Well, there are going to be a couple more trips to the free throw line before we walk out of here on this one. I think DeMatha's going to foul whoever touches the ball.
Well, it's a 4-point lead with 3 seconds to go, and there it goes to Minix for the layup, but there's a foul first on Mustaf, stopping the clock with 4 seconds to go. And you're a prophet, you know that, Jeff? They're going to have more free throws.
They're going to, they're going to play this game just like it's not over, like it's a 1-point ball game as opposed to a 4-point ball game. And this is 1-on-1. If he misses the front end of this, well, things are possible.
Well,
now it's over.
Yeah, bonus shot coming for Couch. 4 seconds remaining, and DeMatha has been eliminated here. And it's going to be Paintsville against Eau Claire tomorrow night after we see that great New York battle between Binghamton and Archbishop Malloy. They're going to let Mustaf shoot. They'll let him shoot. It won't count anyway. 65-59. Paintsville's the winner by 6 points, handing DeMatha their first loss ever in the Beach Ball Classic here at Socastee.
And look at that celebration.
Morgan Wood's the first one off the bench to congratulate Bill Mike Runyon and his staff, Charlie Atkins, Paul David Brown, and the Paintsville Tigers, who may be the Cinderella team of this tournament right now. They have to take on the home state favorite, but I think they're going to have enough following to match them in fans. We'll be back for a final word in a moment. There's the final of this game. Paintsville 65, DeMatha 59. And this is a Production Group sports presentation. Well, a couple of mild surprises tonight, perhaps to some people, but you can hardly call them upsets. Eau Claire taking out Mercer Island, Washington, undefeated and former state champion out there in the West. And Paintsville handing fabled DeMatha its first ever loss in the Beach Ball Classic, and there's the final score, 65-59. And the Tigers from Kentucky did it with balanced scoring. John Pelfrey and Mike Minix with 18 apiece. Joey Couch, who played a whale of a game inside, with 15. And Keith Atkins, a little sharpshooter, 12 on the outside. DeMatha had only a two-pronged attack for the most part. John Gwynn with 16. Gerard Mustaf with 15, but 17 rebounds, 8 points for Bobby Hill. And so it'll be Paintsville against Eau Claire in tomorrow night's second semifinal, after Archbishop Malloy and Binghamton have their little New York shootout at 7 o'clock. And Jeff will be back for both those.
It's a great Final Four. I just hope that those two games can measure up to some of the games that we've had thus far. Last year's Final Four was a great one, and I look for this one to be just as good, and I'm really looking forward to it. The final score again, Paintsville 65, DeMatha 59. Beach Ball Classic. Our executive producers, Donald Smith and Deborah Putnam. Producer and director, Dennis Reed. Technical director and production manager, James Rizzuti. Location engineer, Robert May. Assistant producer, William Martin. On audio, Norman Clay and Hank Marshall. Tape operator giving us those great instant replays, John Pinson. On cameras, Lynn McManus, Charlie Ferris, Derek Myers, Brad Wofford. On graphics, Buddy Gambrell. Production assistants, Billy Sherengos and Cece Simpson. Announcers, Jim Thacker and Jeff McMurdy. Statisticians, Brian Bennett, Chris Story. Grips, David Brunzell and Gary Borowiak. So the Final Four is set. It's an all-New York top half and a pretty good matchup with South Carolina's best going against this Cinderella Kentucky team in the second game of the finals. For Jim Thacker, I'm Jeff McMurdy bidding you good night from Socastee High School. This is a